And it was very difficult, being cheered and Hugh. It was I didn't like that. I liked when I saw people foaming at the mouth.
Hate in their eyes. I mean, people that needed to be sectioned. People with so much hate would climb down from the cheapest seats to get as close to you as possible, to spit in your eye. I saw them. They were spitting above my head. And once they actually got rid of something, even from inside their hearts or inside their mouth, you saw them think, that's it, I've done it now. I've given him a piece of my mind.
That's right.
That's staggering.
Yeah.
I still find that staggering. Chris, okay, now at the moment you're involved with the CAD and the Dandy. That's the website we can see this week, because you're involved with Jodtras. Now what's a Jodtra when it's at home?
Well, a Jodtra is a pair of trousers which has the bag of a jodhpur. Now the bag is above the knee, between the knee and the waist. The bag is for sportsmen, you see, because we have big thighs.
Nice.
You see, but every time, or all the years I wore jodhpurs, it never really caught on, but I really believe these jodhpurs can catch on because it's a lovely cut. And I don't say that because I have designed them. I say it because, in fact, I wouldn't, me, I'm honest.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
They were rubbish. Unfortunately, I know you'd tell me.
Yes, indeed.
That's the truth.
Yeah, and I really think they're elegant, they're different, they're stylish, and the most important, they're distinctive. Something of which, as a culture here, we Britons, we need to actually remember that lip is supposed to be stiff. We ought to remember that the hotter it gets, the tighter the knot on the tie should be. These things are a time past. The time past was good, as opposed to what we have now. No more protocol. There's no crack in that.
Yeah. And Jodhpurs are a step in that direction. Now, if you want to find out more about the trouser, the Jodhpur trouser that Chris is talking about, you can go to, there is a website, and it's called cadandthedandy.co.uk. That's www.cadandthedandy.co.uk. Can you buy them in stores yet? Are they available anywhere?
In another few months, there'll be a launch of a range of frock jackets, all of my design. One of which I'm wearing now.
Yeah, very nice, that one.
And indeed, sir.
You look in great shape, by the way.
You make me blush.
No, I'm telling you.
Yes, you do.
I probably do. You look in great shape. You look better. In many ways. I liked you with a fuller face, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that you look good as a fat man, but I liked you with a fuller face. It was quite. I found the fatter face quite entertaining.
Really?
Yeah, I did, because it was you, and it was really quite fun that you put that weight on your face.
I was talking to Nassim Hamid just yesterday, and we had a conversation that lasted around. 2 hours. Now, most of that conversation revolved around this particular point. I explained that as we get older, the people who watched us and the people we entertained, they will grow with us. So, in terms of looking the part, it's important that you don't let down these fans, because these fans use you as a reference point in their lives. So we have a duty as sportsmen and entertainers and men who have inspired maybe a generation. We have a duty to look a particular way. So it's important, I said, Naz, what you need to do is actually get yourself back online, and what's more, you know how to do it. Yeah. And I hope he hears about this, because he does know how to do it, because he's dried out like we had to dry out, as in lose weight, get down to a particular weight. He knows how to do it, and he said he's going to apply himself. So
he'd shift his weight easily, because his weight is just slob weight, to be honest with you. It's not natural old age growth, it's just slob weight, and that's going to drop it easy, in my opinion.
And once he puts his mind to it, I know that he will.
I'm sure he will.
Okay, so Naz, we're watching.
Because I want to ask you, one of the things, I mean, you and I talked about your autobiography a couple of times, and there were parts of it that I really liked and parts of it that I didn't really recognise. It didn't really do it for me. And we talked about some of the stuff was sort of skimmed over, but I like some of that earlier stuff, and I would love to have explored more of that earlier stuff, you know, the growing up and the time you used to be in and around the West End, and your sort of love of Burberry. I love that part of your life. That's a fantastic part, and it's underexplored, leading up to your time in America. It's, you know, it's, so that was this much of the book. I wanted to read more about that. Now, do you have any plans to do something else, to give a bit more insight? Because, you know, as inspiring as you were throughout your career, and that was, you know, legendary, fantastic, epic. As aspiring as you were throughout your career, what you had to overcome, and the way you changed your life from those early years, from being born and then ending up in Peckham, and some of the trials and tribulations you went through, that in itself is as big an inspiration, in my opinion, as anything you did in the ring. And I'd like to read more about that, or know more about that part of your life.
Well, you know, I'm glad you said that, because if I do, or when I do, I should say, another biography or autobiography, then I would ask you kindly to be the ghostwriter.
I would do it.
Because those things, I mean, like, you've been passionate about boxing, and obviously, as we've been colleagues, and I should say this: you have been aware of the unfair treatment that I have suffered at the hands of the tabloid. They don't mean anything by it. They're only selling newspapers. I don't hold it against them. In fact, I encouraged them to write about me in a way which would give me a little bit of anxiety. Why? Because I knew that controversy sells, and that's why, in part, why I became as notable as I did. So I thank the press immensely for their slight misrepresentation. However, the point I should make is that I would very much like for you to actually to perhaps write and do something with me which accentuates the fairness. Because in all truth, you know, to anybody who's listening, to anybody who has an interest, you know, I'm just really a guy. However, when I got into the ring, I wasn't just a guy. I was real. I was willing to die, and to have that frame of mind, you must be exceptional in that way, and I had to become exceptional. To take a beating from another man that is being viewed by the public, and to stay there taking that beating when you're getting it, accepting it, you know, you must give me the leeway. You must give me the leeway to at least just imagine what I've had to actually come to terms with in my own mind. So in some ways, you know, we can't be normal. Certainly I couldn't be normal as a boxer.
Sure.
Otherwise you just wouldn't be able to do it. You have to go into a different zone. I say to my son, you know, look at Nassim Hamed, look at Mike Tyson, look at me. You know, when we got into the ring, we weren't ourselves. We changed, we metamorphosized into something else, a ball of energy, and that energy was focused at that target, which was the opponent, and that will always inspire people. You know, there has been many champions, some of them do not resonate as they should, because they go in as themselves, and they box kind of in a civil manner. Anyone who goes into the ring with a civil mind doesn't understand that desperate times requires desperate measures. Because in the ring, it is desperate. You've got two men fighting for supremacy over the other, and you have rules and constraints. And you know, in our game, we use the Queensberry rules. And so, you know, if you get in there with a normal mind, you know, you're not going to resonate. You're not going to capture the imagination of the public.